Hello, everybody. Welcome into Get in the Hole. It's Stephen McAvoy here. Took a week off. Now we're back in the hot seat to go over a ton of new things developing in the golf world. On this episode 227 of your favorite podcast, we got a lot of news regarding LIV Golf, including some breaking news we record here on a Tuesday. We're going to go through some mail call. We have some new product launches that we'll chat about. We have Halloween stuff to discuss as well. Don't worry. We're going to get into all of that. And, of course, what did I like? What did I not like? What I hear and what I saw this week in the clubhouse, as well as some beer money as we're back with another fall event. That's coming up all and more right here on Get in the Hole.
Subscribe to Get in the Hole Pod.
This episode of Get in the Hole is brought to you by Acorn Hills, your go-to golf company that's changing clothing through conservation. With a unique value proposition that blends style with eco-friendly packaging and plantable clothing tags, you get to look good and support our environment. Check out their latest drops from quarter zips to polos, hats, hoodies, and beyond, as well as their Founders Club, a quarterly mystery box curated with seasonal apparel and premium accessories that you won't find anywhere else. Head to acornhillsco.com and use code GITH15, that's Get in the Hole 15, to get 15% off your next order at acornhillsco.com. Again, that's Get in the Hole 15 to get 15% off your next order at acornhillsco.com. Acorn Hills, look your best from the ground up. Hey, friends, welcome in to Get in the Hole. Stephen McAvoy here with you once again. This is episode 227 of your favorite golf podcast, Get in the Hole, presented by 47 brand as the winter is right around the corner. It's gotten really cold up here in New York, let me tell you, but it's okay, because 47 brand is keeping me nice and fresh on the range in particular, as I can't really get out on the golf course much anymore. Hopefully we can get one more good 60-degree day. But the nice thing about having 47 brand in my back pocket and really everywhere on my body is keeping me nice and warm now as the winter rolls in. I just got one of their newest hoodies for the NFL, the Giants hoodie. Fits like an absolute glove, absolute perfect product to keep me nice and toasty all throughout the winter, and it's going to look great at parties as well. I'm already excited to wear it out to the bar with some friends on Sundays. Check out 47 brand, link in our description. Get in on all the action with our favorite sponsor. Of course, they have all their golf apparel, the official apparel sponsor of the TGL, as well as getting you everything that you want from college to the pros. Link in our description, all free shipping with all orders when you use that link in our description, and get going with 47 brand today. We start off tonight with some breaking news. We record here around 3 o'clock on a Tuesday that honestly did not have anything like this expected on my Tuesday bingo card. But despite what they stand for and what they have been professing for the last 3 to 4 years, LIV Golf is officially conforming to regular standards of golf. Now, they're still maintaining the shotgun start. That won't change. But they are officially jumping to a 72-hole format. Absolutely massive, as I try and clean my glasses here because they are incredibly dirty. 72 holes. I think this is a crazy development. First of all, just for the context here, they got rid of Greg Norman in the last 6 months. They're clearly looking to change their overall style. They've been fighting with the OWGR for the last 3-4 years. They've never gotten points because of the 54-hole format. Partially the shotgun start, but I think that's kind of a lesser issue. It's really just the standard of the game always being 72 holes. That now, with this happening, it changes the game completely. It officially makes LIV Golf a tour that is not just for the money. It's an actual product that people are now going to be able to watch. Players who are getting world golf ranking points, potentially, they're probably going to refile. And if that happens, what's stopping anybody from going to LIV Golf? The money is simply better. Yes, the visual aspect, you can't necessarily watch it across all these platforms like NBC and CBS, but it's available on FS1. They've had events shown on primetime and on Fox, FS1, FS2. It isn't much different from going between USA to TNT to NBC to CBS to watch anything on the majors when they roll around. So what's stopping anybody from going to play LIV Golf? Monday Q Info put out a tweet, asked 7 current Korn Ferry Tour players if they would go to the LIV promotions events, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And they said they would all absolutely do it, particularly now with a 72-hole format. If you can get points and we can finally get some structure to the OWGR where, let me pull it up right now. I mean, it's very clear and it's very apparent that Jon Rahm and Bryson DeChambeau are top players in the world. It is unfair to Bryson that he is the 23rd ranked golfer in the world when honestly he is a top 5 golfer actively right now. Jon Rahm is the 71st ranked golfer in the world. He is a top 5, borderline top 5 player in the world right now. It's crazy. Like Tom McKibben right now is the 85th ranked player in the world. He should be ranked higher. Trying to find even more names to go like down this list here, but it's if we can get some more recognition in the OWGR for those LIV golfers, it's not going to stop anybody else from going. They're going to get a ton more money. They're going to get a ton more overall exposure. LIV's really creating a world game, and this kind of feeds in well to the promotions aspect, which I'll talk about in the clubhouse chatter. Spoiler alert, that's going to be on the other side. But what's really interesting is that they're finally posing a significant threat now to the PGA Tour, to the point that the PGA Tour came out today in response to their promotions tour, which, again, we'll talk about, and said that because the event is being played in the United States, in North America, particularly in Florida, any player, PGA Tour champions, or Korn Ferry status players who play in the event will not receive a media release and will be subject to disciplinary action and or suspension because the event is happening in North America. This is according to Bob Harrick of Sports Illustrated Sports. Insane. That, and it's funny because this goes back to our last show. We talked about Charlie Beljean going to Grass League. Now, really, Grass League is not anything that's a real existential threat to the PGA Tour, but LIV Golf now is. And they suspended Wesley Bryan over a content series. They're going to continue to do that. And this is all under Brian Rolap's now full jurisdiction as they're continuing to sunset Jay Monahan out. LIV Golf might, in the next 6 months, fuel a lot of big-time names to jump, particularly if they get OWGR points. And if they can get the recognition, that would then feed them and allow them to get access to majors fully, where, yes, the RNA and the USGA and the PGA of America and the Masters have adjusted their criteria to a degree. But a lot of that was because the OWGR isn't allowing points, and it makes it more challenging for LIV guys to get on because they don't play sanctioned events. Outside of the Asians Tour, where I believe like DJ and Patrick Reed have played, and then, of course, the majors, where like Bryson qualified for the Ryder Cup solely on majors. Now, if they can get other points, these organizations are going to be forced to recognize even more of LIV Golf. And some guys like Sergio Garcia, who had a really good year last year, and Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson and Patrick Reed, can play full-time LIV schedules, which are also actively expanding. It's funny because LIV Golf, when it was first out, was like, oh, we're only going to play 8 times a year. We're going to play basically once or maybe twice a month at the most. Players are going to do that and the majors. It's kind of the same or less schedule that you already played on the PGA Tour, where you were required to play about 16 events a year. The purses were larger. The guaranteed money was greater. The shotgun start, it was a 54-hole format. Now you go to 72. You get to wear shorts on the golf course. Like, these small things are adding up and is really making LIV Golf a exciting potential product. And this right here is going to further fuel the fire between LIV and the PGA Tour. I love it. If you have any comments on it, please leave a comment here on the episode. Let us know what you think about it. I'm curious to get everyone's perspective. I want to be able to get in tune with the community here and figure out what you guys think about LIV Golf officially going to 72 holes, maybe creating a bigger stink to the PGA Tour and Brian Rolap, and to see what's going to happen now in the next 3 months or even 6 months as the season rolls on. Come January, a lot could happen. And in particular, when you look at the slate of schedule, right? there was already rumors, and again, I'll talk about this later, that players were withdrawing from the Hero World Challenge. Oh, they might go to LIV Golf. This might actually be a reason for them to go. You got to realize in the last year and a half, names that have been linked to LIV Golf: Tommy Fleetwood, Hideki Matsuyama, Siwoo Kim, Tom Kim, Xander Schauffele, Patrick Cantlay. These are big-ass names. And if any of them go and join up with Jon Rahm, who was going to be recognized as a top player in the world, with Bryson DeChambeau, Rory was offered $1 billion to go to LIV initially. You don't think he might jump? Obviously, he's turncoated. He's kind of flip-flopped in both ways of the aisle. But who's to say? Like, Tony Finau has been linked. Some of these guys might go, and it will really create an interesting rift if LIV starts to compete with the PGA Tour on a grand scale of ability players, guys who are quality. When LIV first started, it was Graham McDowell and Ian Poulter and Lee Westwood. No one cared about those guys. They cared about the young players who were coming onto the tour. No one cared about Jason Kokrak. I haven't heard a peep out of Jason Kokrak or Harold Varner III or Mark Leishman. The guys who came over that mattered was Dustin Johnson, Patrick Reed, Cameron Smith later on, then Jon Rahm, Koepka, and Bryson. Those are the names that everyone cared about. And they're the names that still manage to perform, and of course Phil, to perform in majors, in big-time tournaments. That's what's going to really bring it over the top. People have been joking about a PGA Tour LIV Golf Ryder Cup event. If you stack up some of the guys who are rumored to go to LIV Golf, right? You put Rory up against Bryson or Rory up against Rahm, Scotty up against Bryson or up against Rahm. You bring in Tommy Fleetwood on the PGA Tour side. You go put him up against Cameron Smith. If you add Tony Finau to LIV Golf and you add Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay to LIV Golf, you put them up against some of the top players in the world actively. Let's just go to the rankings and let's try and see who's there. You put them up against Matt Fitzpatrick or Sam Burns or Victor Hovland. That's a really good matchup. Ludwig Oberg would go up against somebody like a Tyrrell Hatton, or you could put up Justin Thomas against a Joaquin Niemann. Like, there's talented names now that LIV Golf could be adding to their repertoire. So I'm very interested in seeing what they're capable of doing, what they will end up doing, and how they're going to approach the OWGR now. Say, hey, we have 72 holes. Let's make something work, and let's really get us back to where we are. I mean, Data Golf says it alone, right? If you look at the LIV Golf guys, Jon Rahm, third-ranked player in the world according to Data Golf. DeChambeau is 7th. Hatton is 23rd. Niemann 24th. McKibben is 38th. Munoz is 49th. Ortiz 57. Reed 59. David Puig 63. Those are some sizable names to be listed in the top 65 players in the world. Then you throw on potentials. Xander, who's 6th. Cantlay, who is 16th. Finau, who is somewhere on this list. Where's Tony Finau on this list? $151st. What? That's insane. I guess he hasn't played very quality golf. Well, Tony Finau, potentially going to LIV Golf, or Tom Kim. Like, there are some real names that, if they were to go, could be a huge momentum shift for LIV Golf. Let's get into some mail call for the opening week, presented by our friends over at McGregor Golf. Since 1829, McGregor Golf has been a pedigree of winning, from the great Jack Nicklaus to former world number 1 Greg Norman. They are growing the direct-to-consumer golf game with uncompromised quality. Rated the best DTC brand by My Golf Spy in 2024, McGregor Golf will help your game in a variety of ways. Whether you're looking to grow your set, get your junior into the game, or need to upgrade those to the senior clubs, McGregor Golf has you covered and more. Check the link in our description and get shopping today at MacGregorGolf.com. We start off with one of the big topics when it comes to equipment that has been sweeping the nation. what is a more interesting switch up, the new Amazon golf ball or Jason Day's new Owota irons? It's got to be the golf ball here, guys. It's absolutely definitive. The new Amazon golf ball, for those of you who are very new to this this trend, they came out, I think, literally like last week, middle of last week, with the Tour Soft Amazon golf ball 3-pack sleeve. You can get 24 for $24. It comes from the same manufacturer as the Kirkland golf balls, but My Golf Spy ran tests on the Kirkland golf ball versus the Amazon golf ball, and it's very clear apparently that the new Amazon balls are far lower in quality, whereas the latest Kirkland 3.5s are rivaling the Titleist ball according to the studies. It's a very inconsistent ball. Apparently, it has quote optimized spin and low compression. Doesn't seem to be buying that one at all. They open the ball up. It's a very simple urethane ball, very different to what the Kirkland style is versus what even the lower tier golf balls are, Max Fly or Top Flight. But what's fascinating is that, again, for the value, 24 balls are $24, same pricing structure as Costco, same golf ball manufacturer as Costco. Might mean that eventually down the line there's going to be better overall improvements to this ball. I think it's more interesting than Jason Day's new irons. Day's irons, of course, are Owota, the Israeli-based brand that Bryson used at the Masters when he finished top 10 a couple of years ago, and has fooled around with them a couple of times with prototype irons. It's another iron maker getting involved in the game. It's great. It's great. Don't get me wrong, but we've already seen this story before. The Amazon balls, though, are brand new and I think are very fascinating and different. And so that's why I'm going to go with the Amazon golf balls. Next one here. Who had the best Halloween costume this year? Well, we'll leave some images for the post edit, but a few of them, if you didn't see it on social media for the PGA Tour and other networks, there was a great thread of costumes. I got to give a shout out to Akshay Bhatia. He leaned into his Aladdin era. Sergio Garcia, he wore his LIV Golf outfit from the Masters a few years ago, where he looked like Ronald McDonald, and he threw on a McDonald's hat to kind of add on to the ambiance there. I have to give credit to the Finaus. When you're a family that big, you're allowed to have some creative liberties. And they did an incredible job on their costume of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. A fantastic overall outfit. It certainly helps. The family is huge. There were some other really good ones. Bryson was a mall cop. It was all right. Charlie Hole was a cat or Catwoman, one of the two. I don't really know. But a few of them were really strong. I do think, though, that the Finaus certainly take the cake on this one. So I'm going to ride with the Finaus as the best costume of the Halloween season. Final one here. What do you think of Graham McDowell's comments on the quote-unquote divide in golf? Now, this actually goes back to our LIV Golf competition. And again, we're going to talk more about LIV later on in the show as well with our clubhouse chatter. But McDowell came out and was talking about how there's this alleged divide in golf. And I'll pull up his official statement, what he said here. He said, quote, actually, it's fascinating. This is originally this came out via Bunkered Golf. McDowell actually commented to this, but he had said in an article, the divisiveness has come from the best players in the world. It hasn't come from the 40-somethings like myself that are just trying to eke out a living and staying competitive on an opportunity that was presented to us, which would have been crazy to say no to from a business point of view. McDowell actually came out and critiqued the commentary, said it was a clickbait, and that the article that was originally written was what it would mean to him to have been a Ryder Cup captain in Ireland in 2027. He said it was supposed to read eking out the last few years of my playing career, not eking out a living. According to McDowell, has been incredibly fortunate, and if it was all done tomorrow, all he would have is gratitude. I think the comments are relatively accurate, though. At the same time, I wouldn't say he's eking out a living, or even the idea of eking out his last few years of golf, I think it's absolutely on point. At the end of the day, when LIV Golf was founded, again, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Ian Poulter, Lee Westwood, Graham McDowell, these are older gentlemen that have had a long-standing relationship with the PGA Tour, were successful in Europe and in America. And at the end of the day, they were past their prime. They were over the hill. And as golf continues to grow in parity, I think it's ridiculous for you to not want to go and chase the money. Harold Varner, who even was a good enough player to be able to be in contention every single week, amongst other guys, Jason Kokrak, even Joaquin Niemann was a top player in the world. All these guys went to LIV Golf, not necessarily because they were unskilled or they felt like they didn't have success on tour, but they were like, I can make more money and set up my family and grandchildren for life than go play on the PGA Tour. As Kevin Kisner says, hey, you make a lot of money for coming in 20th, but it's harder and harder nowadays to finish in 20th place. Look at the kind of people that are now flooding the PGA Tour ranks, like Ludwig Oberg, Michael Torbjornsen, Chris Gotterup, Aldrich Potgieter, Neil Shipley is going to come in now, Matt McCarty, Luke Clanton, some of the guys, Michael Brennan, who just won at the Bank of Utah Championship in his first ever start at 24 under par, on top of guys like breakout stars like JJ Spawn, Russell Henley, Nikolai and Rasmus Højgaard, Max Greyersman, Ben Griffin, Bobby Mack. Like, all of these guys are now flooding the PGA Tour ranks, amongst now the college kids too that are coming in. I think it's a crazy idea to say that his comments are off touch or off base. I think he's absolutely correct. So I think McDowell's comments, well, I don't think there's really like a divisiveness or a divide. There might be more now because LIV Golf is expanded to 72 holes and could be getting more. But really, I think McDowell's comments are totally on point. And in regards to McDowell possibly being a captain in 2027, I don't think it's going to happen. Justin Rose actually also just withdrew his consideration for captaincy in 2027. I think they might honestly run it back with Lou Donald again. But to have an Irishman represent the team as the captain would be a substantial thing. I think McDowell, as a Northern Irishman, would certainly fit the bill in that regard. We're going to take a short break. On the other side, we are going to chat all about the Barstool Internet Invitational. What do we think about that so far? And, of course, our Clubhouse chatter. That'll be coming up right on the other side here on Get in the Hole. I'm your host, Stephen McAvoy.
Subscribe to Get in the Hole Pod.
Get in the Hole is brought to you by our amazing merch partners, PHI Apparel Company. With their unique designs for all, there's no doubt in our minds you will stand out in the crowd. Rep your favorite golf podcast and get your official Get in the Hole shirts and hoodies at phiapparel.co. When you check out, use code UNDERGROUND to get 10% off your entire order. Again, that's code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your next merch order at phiapparel.co. Stand out in the crowd, on the course, at the 19th hole, or quite frankly anywhere, with the official merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Welcome back into Get in the Hole. Stephen McAvoy here, part 2 of the episode coming your way right now. We lead off with the Internet Invitational. Now, we're only a few days into it, the Barstool and Bob Does Sports collab, where 48 of the biggest golf influencers in the world have come together to play on a grand stage at Big Cedar Lodge out in Missouri. 2 episodes have been posted so far. It's like an 8-part series that is coming out. The big story coming out of it has been the Luke Kwan incident, where he woke up late for his tee time and Ryan Whitney, the former NHLer, almost body slammed him. I've been getting a lot of questions about this lately from a lot of friends, and I want to discuss this and what exactly it means for golf. And I've been getting a lot of comments about how it's a flop so far. Now, again, two episodes have been out. As of this recording, they've logged a total of 8.3 million views. The episodes are long. They're like 4.5 hours each, and there's like 6 more of them coming up. I don't think it's a flop at all. I think it is just simply way too much content for me to sit down and watch it. Maybe I could watch it as background noise, but I'm not tuning into the Internet Invitational to watch 4 hours every few days of golf content in a golf tournament that, quite frankly, I don't really care about. And that's just me. I'm not a YouTube golf guy. I've never watched Good. I've never watched the Bryan Bros. I watch like shorts and like short clips because I'm just like curious about it. But I don't have time in my day to watch Bryson's breaking 50. I don't have time to watch Grant Horvath go play Tom Brady or any of these videos. Again, I'll watch highlights, but I'm just not interested in YouTube. And I'm of the generation that had YouTube like very early on, but like unlike my friends who are big like YouTube guys or who watched even the shows or the creators 10, 15 years ago that were really big, I never got into it. I was always just more like, I'm just going to watch the sports. So never was big on YouTube. I only ever used it as a crux for whatever I needed video wise. This stuff just seems too out of depth for me, although I will say it's incredibly impressive that they managed to get 48 big-time creators, golf or not, ranging handicaps, whatever it may be, to be all on this show. But this is not a flop as much for the YouTube world, because it certainly isn't. They got a ton of big names to come and play and perform, and they got it on a big stage, and it's a big content shoot. What's the flop here is the fact that the PGA Tour had this in the bag and completely fumbled it. The PGA Tour 2 years ago came up with the idea of the Creator Classic. And they were like, oh, we're going to have golf creators and golf influencers and people who are in tune with the golf world play a tournament, a 9-hole golf tournament at some of the biggest venues on the tour. They played at Sawgrass. They played at East Lake. They played recently at the Truist as well, which was fun to follow them around for a little bit, but wasn't the most engaging thing to me. I didn't care about it. KB and Ethan could tell you when we went, we showed up on Wednesday. Once the Creator Classic started, I left. I was like, I'm not interested in watching Paige Spiranac go golf. I'm sorry. I'm not interested in watching like Tyler from Dude Perfect going golf. It's not cool to me. I don't care. The PGA Tour had a product though. And it came with limited overall playership. There was like 12 or 15 people total at each tournament when they should have done a 48-person, 18-hole tournament the day before. Could have started it at 3 o'clock at a shotgun start, like they should have. And they could have casted it live. They could have done it on YouTube. They could have done it on people's channels. Obviously, these videos are being played on all these people's channels, and they're being shared to all the channels. The PGA Tour has never been good at circulating media. They've never been that good at being able to push a product that goes beyond what they know and have known for 30, 40, 50 plus years. The new world is YouTube. The new world is content creators. The new world is the influencer. We've seen it for months and years. TaylorMade sponsoring Foreplay. Adidas sponsoring Foreplay. Good sponsoring by Callaway. They would rather pay influencers than pro golfers who are trying to make a living. And the content that goes with it is untapped for the PGA Tour. But of course, they want to go and they want to fight a different fight and not deal with these creators as another medium to grow the game of golf. Now, granted, they have done a good job with TGL. I'll give them that. But again, that's just another subsection of the PGA Tour with a media rights partner on ESPN, not YouTube. They needed to dig deeper into this content area, and they just haven't. And now the Barstool Internet Invitational is going to rack up 40 plus million views probably, which are on pace to do already. And that's the bottom end, right? 2 episodes are in, 8.3 million views so far, mid Tuesday afternoon. The other video has been up for 2 days. It's going to go up to probably 7-8 million views per episode. You're telling me that if they walk out there with 48 million views, that's not a huge win? That's like over a 2-week period, 12 times the viewership that a PGA Tour event gets. That's crazy. I don't think it's a flop for the Internet Invitational, even though I'm not going to watch it. It's a flop for the PGA Tour because they failed an opportunity to capitalize on something that they literally had in their lap, and they let it fall to the wayside and go to naught. We go to our clubhouse chatter presented by our friends over at Acorn Hills, our go-to apparel brand, putting an eco-friendly spin on styles that you'll love. With plantable clothing tags, you'll be sure to look your best in the blistering sun or in the chilly fall weather. Head to acornhillsco.com. Use code GITH15. That's get in the hole 15 to get 15% off your next order at acornhillsco.com. Again, code GITH15 for 15% off your next order at acornhillsco.com. Acorn Hills, look your best from the ground up. We get to what I liked this week, and it's more LIV Golf chatter, just like the way you thought it would be. What did I like this week in the world of golf? Well, LIV is now expanding their promotions tour and their opportunities. They're taking a major step in trying to expand the world's game. They're going to be playing again this event, which the PGA Tour has said that they are going to suspend or give disciplinary action to anybody who plays in the event that has Korn Ferry Tour, Champions Tour, or PGA Tour status. The event's going to be played at Black Desert Ranch in Florida this January. LIV Golf is going to provide every player involved with $5,000 for expenses for the week. First place will earn $250,000, while second place will earn $150K. Both will get full exemption to the LIV Golf Tour next season, while the remaining top 10 players and ties will get full exemption onto the International Series of the Asian Circuit. I love this move for so many reasons. One, LIV Golf is now creating more opportunities than ever to play golf professionally and make some money, whereas the Korn Ferry Tour and the PGA Tour are choosing to limit tour cards and try and keep the circle smaller. I guess that also to a degree makes the demand higher and it makes players want to play better. I don't really know what the reasoning is on that one, but LIV Golf expanding their scope and wanting more people to play LIV Golf and just have an opportunity to go play on the Asian Tour, I think is a huge win. Particularly when you think now that LIV's going to expand to that 72 holes, they're going to look more into OWGR points. They're going to really take it seriously and provide you more money than the PGA Tour was going to be able to do as well. And fun little side perk, you get to wear shorts on the golf course. So that's what I liked this week in the world of golf. What I not like, Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay have officially withdrawn from the Hero World Challenge. Now, for Xander, it makes sense. He recently became a father. So that happened beginning of September, I believe. He recently became a father. He ended up skipping the Pro Tour Championship. He then went on to play the Ryder Cup, and he hasn't played since. But Xander, I get it. A 2-month-old child, you need to cater to them. But Cantlay's reason hasn't been revealed yet, and I don't like this because it's the Hero World Challenge, in my opinion, is more than just a charity golf tournament. Because, of course, at the end of the day, it's a golf tournament that's charity. You're in the Bahamas. It's supporting local charities as well as Tiger Woods Foundation. But I would say it's an honor to be invited and play. And I would want to go and play if I was given the opportunity by Tiger Woods to go and represent a select 20 people to play in this tournament, raise money, get people involved. I would say the Hero World Challenge is a bigger deal than the Grant Thornton Invitational or even the PNC, even though it's a adult child tournament. I think Cantlay, regardless of the reason for why he withdrew, of course, I'm sure there's probably legitimate reasons, but he hasn't played since the Ryder Cup. He didn't play. He only played the Pro Tour so far this year. It isn't like the vacation and time off in golf is not substantive or not a lot for certain guys like Xander Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay. But they only play 20 times a year and they don't play the entire fall. Why can't you go and play this event? I just simply don't understand it, and I don't get why Cantlay in particular is not playing in the Hero World Challenge when you're able to have an opportunity to promote a charity and the greatest golfer ever, who really is becoming more of a humanitarian now, as he's now less likely to continue his full-time golf career on the course. Keeping up with Tiger Woods, I heard this week PGA Senior Tour, they want Tiger real bad. In an interview with Miller Brady, the PGA Tour Champions president, said, quote, "We've done some whiteboarding over the past year in preparation for Tiger turning 50 years old. And if and when he plays, our tournaments will be prepared." Now, Tiger Woods will turn 50 years old on December 30th. He will officially be eligible for the Champions Tour. Whether or not he's willing to go play the tour, he has not made it made clear. And he's also made clear that he's not playing on a golf cart anytime soon. But the tour has been proactively creating plans for larger parking concessions, amenities, all to cater to the arrival of the GOAT. And I think this is tremendous planning. I hope Tiger plays the Senior Tour. I think Tiger would be so amped to... I understand the idea that like you can't be 21 anymore, and you can't beat Scotty Scheffler, and you can't beat Jon Rahm and Bryson in majors. But why not go play the Senior Tour and go beat up on the guys that you beat up on who are older than you for all these years? Vijay Singh and Bernard Langer and Steve Stricker. I think it'd be hilarious. Ernie Els, like I would love to do that, and it's so much less pressure, honestly, for Tiger Woods. I think this is a great story because I want to see Tiger Woods play golf more, and if it means he does it on the Senior Tour, I think he'd be doing everybody a fan's service. Now, whether or not he does it, I'm not going to blame him for not doing it. Of course, he's at a point in his life where if he never picks up a golf club again, I won't blame him. It's actually kind of similar to Michael Jordan, who there was a video that came out when during the Ryder Cup he rented a place in the Hamptons, and the owner asked him to like hit a free throw, and he's like, "I hadn't picked up a ball in years." Like that's crazy to me that the GOAT of basketball has not picked up a golf club in all this time. I find. Finally, we get to what I saw this week. Gary Player came out and said that he was, quote, a top 3 player all time. Okay. Didn't have any backing for it. So I'm taking it upon myself to give you officially my list of the top 5 players of all time. And I will tell you right now, I do not think Gary Player is in it. I think he might be 5. That's kind of my spot right now. First of all, Tiger Woods number 1. That's definitive. Number 2 is Jack. 3 through 5, I think, is a really interesting debate, and it really is between 4 guys. Number 1, and I think he's number 3, I think it's Ben Hogan. 64 career wins, 9 majors. He's the only player to win the Masters, U.S. Open, and Open Championship all in the same year. The same calendar year. He held the U.S. Open scoring record for over 52 years. He had the most consecutive top 10s in majors at 18. He's one of the greatest players to ever hold a golf club. And I understand debating the idea that guys who played in the 20s, 30s, 40s as compared to Gary Player, whose career has spanned over 45 years, it's 2 different kind of animals. But to that, I tell you, why would Johnny Unitas not be a top 10 quarterback ever, even though he played in the 1950s when he was playing against milkmen? I would say that no matter who you debate in any sort of era of sport, I think that to give the benefit of the doubt to the recency bias, unless there's been a monumental shift in the game, then I think it's unfair. Johnny Unitas was a forward passer in the NFL. I think he has the stats to back it up. He revolutionized the game. He's better than guys like Roger Staubach and Troy Aikman and Dan Marino, in my opinion. And he's won titles. You go to the NBA. Why would we give Steph Curry a title over somebody like Jerry West, who the logo didn't have the opportunity to shoot threes, but Curry reinvented the game? Might be a little bit of definitely a different story to talk about. But in golf, as technology's gotten better, all of the players have gotten the same. Ben Hogan was playing golf against all the guys who were at the very peak of that sport at that given time. And I think if you gave Ben Hogan a Titleist TS2 right now, granted he's dead, if you gave him one, he'd mash it. So I think Ben Hogan is definitively the 3rd greatest player of all time. 4 and 5 in between 3 names. I got Bobby Jones, Arnold Palmer, and Gary Player. For Bobby Jones, I think he, in my opinion, is 13 major wins in 31 attempts. That's a third of his overall major attempts were wins. He had the 1930 Grand Slam winning all 4 events. That, of course, was back when the U.S. Amateur and the British Amateur were both majors. And the guy quit golf at 28 years old to go and pursue a whole different life as an architect and a greenskeeper. And like the guy didn't play for 15 years and had 13 major wins. Like he's the biggest what if in the sport's history and still has incredible attributes that beat out most guys. Arnold Palmer, I think, is more of a facial figure. And I think that's also kind of what Gary Player is. And I think both of them embody different things, right? Arnold Palmer was the face of golf in America in the 1960s. He was the last player captain of a Ryder Cup team. He was a multi-time major winner at every single major site. He's one of 5 players to ever have the career Grand Slam. And he's one of the greatest American golfers ever. On the other side, Gary Player is also in that Grand Slam conversation. He's one of 4 players to win the Masters and Open 3 times each. Like, he's a global ambassador of the game. He's a Ryder Cup captain. He's a President's Cup co-captain. Like, he's done a lot of these things for Europe and Africa and the international game that I would say Gary Player is more... Sorry, Gary Player never played in a Ryder Cup. I apologize. Gary Player is an international figure the same way that like Seve Ballesteros is, and that Luke Donald is now, as you can consider him. I think Gary Player is one of the greatest international players ever, but I don't think he is a top 3 player ever. I think definitively that goes to Tiger, Jack, and Bobby Jones. Or sorry, Ben Hogan. From there, Bobby Jones is in talks for the top 5. Arnold Palmer is. I think Sam Snead is in that conversation as well. I think Phil Mickelson is in that conversation. Like, these are all incredible golfers. I think for Gary Player to say he's top 3 all time, I think it's a long shout from how good he actually is. So that's my thought on that. We're going to finally wrap the show up with some beer money brought to you by our friends over at Kenwood Beer. Everyone needs that one great beer for any occasion, right? Well, Kenny has you covered with a crisp, cool, refreshing lager that is just as original as their desire to put a modern twist on the OG lager. Head to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny tracker to hashtag grab a Kenny at your local New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware liquor stores and beyond. Of course, the Wells Fargo Center, the Mann Center. You can get all that with Kenwood Beer. Drink responsibly. You must be 21 years or older to do so. And if you're gambling with us, please gamble responsibly as well. We begin our picks with a top 20 selection at the Worldwide Technologies Championship at El Cardinal Golf Club in Mexico. 7,300 yards, par 72. 2 things, folks. We're going to a resort-style golf course, which means all you got to do is hit it far and putt it well. With that being said, I'm going to start with the top 20. I'm going to go with Matty Schmid for a top 20 finish at plus 200. Tell the tape, guys. Most of, not all, but most of these names hit ball far, putt ball well. That's really it. Top 10 for me, I'm going to go with Mac Hughes, the Canadian, at plus 400. He's top 5 in strokes gained putting in the field this week. He's been average everywhere so far this year, but around the greens, he's been on absolute fire. He's going to be a shoo-in for a good placement, especially after a top 10 finish at the Bank of Utah. Top 5 for me, I'm going to go Wyndham Clark. Again, hit ball far, putt ball well. He's plus 600 for a top 5 finish. My gimme selection, Garrick Higo, top 20 at plus 100. Easy money to be able to get a guy who putts the ball and drives the ball as strong as he does. My ladder selections for the week, pretty interesting scope here. Top 20 selection, I'm going to go with Nico Echeverria, plus 170. Tremendous putter, really good driver overall. Has that good approach play that we really like. Bo Hostler is a top 30 pick for plus 140. Again, a really strong putter. Everything else has been kind of average overall, but I'm hoping the coffee grind is really going to get Bo Hostler going, particularly down in Mexico. And top 40, I'm going to go with Taylor Montgomery. All he does is putt. He doesn't do anything else very well. He's literally the best putter at this event. He's minus 105. That $10 bet is going to pay out 126 on DraftKings. So go check that out. Montgomery top 40, Hostler top 30, Echeverria top 20. And finally, I give you my winner at the Worldwide Technologies Championship, and that's going to go to Max Greyersman at plus 2,000. Good track record, fits the overall horse for course style here, and I think we can get a lot of really good wins out of Max Greyersman with that long driver, that good putter, above average, could certainly fit what we are looking for. Our final topic of the day, the last putt. I want to give a shout out to Kai Trump, who is making her LPGA Tour debut at the Annika this weekend. Kai Trump, of course, the granddaughter of President Donald Trump, has been longstanding as one of the better young up-and-coming golfers to eventually hit the LPGA circuit. She will be doing it at, I believe she's only like 15 years old or something like that. Oh, wow. She's 18. She looks way younger. The 18-year-old will make her tour debut at the Annika. A really big win, honestly, for Kai Trump. She's been really big on social media. She's been getting a lot of criticism, though, and I think it's unfair that whether or not politically you side with Trump or not, I do think it's unfair that the poor girl is getting a lot of flack from people because of her affiliation to her grandfather. She's a incredible golfer. She was one of the best golfers in the state of Florida growing up, and so she's playing at the University of Miami next year. She's a incoming freshman, so I think she absolutely deserves a crack at this. And we've seen a lot of really great young athletes come onto the LPGA Tour and immediately make an impact. I mean, Rose Zhang early in her career, Leslie Thompson, and so many more from there as well. College or not, the jump to play LPGA Tour events. I mean, like, hey, like Lottie Woad has joined the LPGA and has been an absolute phenomenon after 3 years at Florida State. So best of luck to Kai Trump. I think she has a great opportunity to do some great stuff, and I hope she plays well this week at the Pelican Golf Club down in Bel Air, Florida. That's going to do it all for me here. Stephen McAvoy on Get in the Hole. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe on all of our social media platforms at Get in the Hole Pod on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and beyond. And of course, if you're already tuning in, be sure to follow and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. The engagement really does help with the overall reach of this show. If you like what you saw, leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see in the next episode. And be sure to follow and subscribe to Underground Sports PHI on YouTube and get a hold of all of our awesome shows, from Top Pins to OTB to Underground Circuit and beyond. We have some of the best shows in podcasting that you can watch on both audio and visual. So go check them out at Underground Sports Philadelphia on YouTube. That's going to do it all for me, folks. Episode 227 of the Get in the Hole podcast. I'm your host, Stephen McAvoy, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening to Get in the Hole, the official golf podcast of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Catch us every week wherever you get your favorite podcasts, and be sure to like and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Get in the Hole Pod, and follow Underground Sports Philadelphia at Underground PHI. We'll see you next time. And remember, get in the hole!